Really excited to have Craig Charlton here, CEO of Sugar. Sugar's been on a tear recently. Lots of changes, lots of additions to the product. Some really cool stuff has been going on, and it's good to get time with Craig so he can lay a lot of it out for us. So, Craig, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, David. Thanks for all the customers who are attending. It's important for me to always say thanks to our customers. We appreciate your loyalty, and also appreciate Faye as being, one of our biggest and coolest, I just heard, a partner globally. Hey, I do feel a little bit ripped off here, David. You promised me a fireside chat, and I'm sitting here in cold Denver, and there's no fire happening. So I could do with an open fire.
I understand. We're in Southern California. It's nice and warm, so I don't know what to tell you.
Don't rub it in.
All right, so we'll get started. We have a bunch of stuff to cover. So just for everyone, I'm going to be asking questions of Craig, and Craig's going to be, hopefully giving us some great answers, and we'll go from there. And as Jesse said, if you guys have any questions or follow-ups as we're going through this, put it in your browser, and we'll get to it at the end. So, Craig, we're going to start with this. As I said before, a lot's happened with Sugar over the past, at least 6 months. Tell us a bit about what's been happening, what the changes are, and how these things are going to impact all the Sugar customers.
Yeah, thanks, David. I actually clocked up my 1-year anniversary this week, so it's been an exciting year. There's lots that's happened in the Sugar stratosphere, and particularly over the last 6 months. So, we've announced a new vision and mission. We've got a new and expanded product portfolio with our Sugar Market, Sugar Sell, Sugar Serve. We have a new brand story. We have a new website. We've got a new format for our customer conference. We have some new products that we've released, Sugar Discover, Sugar Connect. You're going to be hearing soon about a product called Sugar Integrate. More on this to come later. So we've had multiple acquisitions, 3 in total, through the course of last year. All of this is probably instigated by our new investors. So about 18 months ago, we had new investors in the company, a company called Excel KKR, who owns us, and they're the best in the business in terms of backing leading tech stocks, and we're very firmly in their mind going to be an absolute winner, and I expect that we will. We've got a very new executive team. So from the team that I inherited, we've really only got Rich, who's our CTO. He's a superstar and now Chief Product Officer, and one of the co-founders, which is Clint, is still with the executive team, and he's our Chief of Strategy. But on top of that, we have a new CEO, a new CFO, a new CMO, a new Chief Customer Officer, a new head of HR, a new head of IT, and then we've also made changes to our regional management structure and put in 3 new regional GMs. So we just announced this week for the Americas that Jason Rushforth has just started with us. He's an industry veteran from CRM, from a number of different companies, and he's going to be running the Americas. We have another Jason who's been on board for about 4 months running APAC. And just to continue with the J theme, we have a James running EMEA, who's been with us for about 4 months as well. And then we've had 3 new product GMs. So we have a general manager for market, a general manager for self-serve, and a general manager for Discover. So a ton of change in a really short space of time, but the changes hopefully are having a really positive impact on our customers. So the aim of the company is to innovate at a pace which enables our customers to be far more successful than their competitors and their industry peers. We want to continue to drive innovation that delivers our customers a competitive advantage in all of their respective businesses. So exciting times.
Yeah, it's great stuff. I think by the way, I was happy to hear about the J's. My 2 sons' names begin with J, so I'm on board with the J hiring.
I call them the triple J's. So
there you go. That's good. One of the things about Sugar and all these cool add-on products and the expanding product portfolio that's happened is how the vision of it being a unified data platform, and that all these add-ons access the same data platform. Can you talk a little bit about that and what the benefits are going to be to our customers?
Yeah, look, it's all of the competitors in this space are talking about it, and they're using different terminology, unified data platform, customer data platforms, but the aim is to achieve the holy grail mission of providing a true 360-degree view of the customer. And everyone has been talking about this for years. And in fact, if I go back into the mid-90s, people were talking about this 360-degree view of the customer. For many of our competitors, that's a really difficult undertaking to pull off, because they aren't one product, but a loose collection of different technology assets which historically don't play well together and were never designed to play well together. So what Sugar's done is quite different. We've been focusing on building a true underlying data platform, but a data platform which is time aware, which is very, very different from the competitors. And the idea is that with that, we can drive an unprecedented level of insight for every business. And whether the value comes, so that's sort of the technical piece, where the value comes for customers is a product called Sugar Discover, which we acquired last year. And this is the engine which turns our time-aware unified data platform into a true intelligent customer experience platform. So Discover uses that time coefficient of customer data in very, very compelling ways. Things like comparing current sales performance to any point in the past. In the near future, we're also going to expand Discover to the other components in our CX platform, like Sugar Market and Sugar Serve. But the essence of Discover is it provides insight into really important anomalies and correlations, and enables our customers to compare and contrast any period in history, as well as roll forward and help predict the future. So that's what we talk about with this unified time-aware customer data platform.
And I know that you've standardized on keeping all this on Amazon Web Services. And why AWS? What kind of investments are you making with Amazon to support the whole unified data platform and time-aware features?
Yeah, look, so anyone who's intimate with the tech space would probably understand very easily our reasons for choosing AWS. It is our strategic cloud infrastructure platform, and there's a multitude of reasons. I mean, it is, I think, clearly the most advanced platform in today's world. So, building out your own proprietary cloud infrastructure, as a couple of our competitors do, it's expensive, it's limiting, and it's ridiculously risky from our perspective. We could never provide a platform anywhere near the level that AWS can. So what Sugar's done is we placed our bets with Amazon. It's the most flexible, responsive, and cost-effective way to provide cloud-based B2B software applications. They're innovating at a pace which is mind-blowing, really. They average, according to the stats, a 40% increase in new AWS features and services every year. So that's compounding year upon year upon year. And while they've been doing this, they've been simultaneously actually decreasing the prices of their services more than 60 times since they actually initially launched. So it means that Sugar and our customers have access to the world's greatest technology from an cloud infrastructure perspective at prices driven by the enormous economies of scale with Amazon. They're also obviously clearly global. We've got customers in 122 countries around the world. Well, AWS supports users in 190 countries currently. So for vendors like Sugar, we want to leverage all of their capabilities. They provide the ability to deploy applications at any of their global data centers quickly and easily. And we had an example of that in the last 6 months, where in both Europe and Canada, the feedback was, well, we want a data center that where it's actually hosted locally, somewhere in continental Europe and somewhere in Canada. And within the course of a few weeks, we'd actually spun up a new AWS instance and had our customers in those particular geos transferred across. So the global infrastructure is unprecedented, and the pace of innovation is really the key thing that, from my perspective, that we get from AWS. So because they're innovating at such an incredible pace, Sugar's able to allocate a far smaller portion and a decreasing portion of our technology investment from an engineering perspective to do the required plumbing, which is necessary to support our apps. And we can spend far more time on functional enhancements and innovation to our CX applications, which is what our customers want. They don't care about us, excuse me, doing the plumbing. They want us to add functionality which helps them be more competitive in their businesses. So the pace of innovation has increased immensely since we backed AWS, and it's going to continue to accelerate because we can rely on AWS for all of that back of house technology. So that on top of, you know, enormous scalability, you know, the stats from Gartner are that AWS has deployed 5 times more cloud infrastructure than their next 14 competitors combined. I mean, it really is difficult to fathom. So, you know, we made the call. We're deeply integrated with AWS. We leverage more of their vast capabilities than any other CX offering in the marketplace by a long way. We're currently using 36 AWS services, and we're continuously growing that number. We're actually working, you know, in their labs side by side and working on new pilot services they're bringing out to incorporate them into the Sugar stack. So, you know, by embracing this, we've turned Sugar, in my mind, to the most, you know, modern, durable, and future-proof customer experience platform on the market. And our pace of innovation will continue to increase, which should be great for our customers.
Yeah, we've been working with AWS for a while, and we love to talk about innovation. One of our company values is innovation rules. And so the whole shift to AWS and the investment in that is consistent with what we're doing and what we're seeing in the market. So that's really cool stuff. One of the other things that Sugar's been talking about a lot is no-touch information management. Can you sort of expand on that and talk a little bit about what you mean?
Yeah, look, it really comes to it's a design philosophy that we have. We have this overriding mandate that data entry should be a last resort. You know, we want to move past that old data entry paradigm because data these days can be ingested automatically into an application, and you know, our embedded process engines prompt users with things like next best action guidance rather than them having to figure it out for themselves. So it's all about reducing the user effort as close as possible to zero. We may never get to zero, but reducing the effort as close as possible to zero, but providing huge value to the individual users that are interacting with Sugar. So it becomes very much an indispensable tool for user productivity and ultimately then organizational success. So, you know, no touch is all about taking advantage in our mind of every opportunity to automate the collection, the processing, and the presentation of customer information. It's all about capturing information as an automated byproduct of the user just doing their day job, whether they're engaging with customers or using other tools and systems. We should be automatically processing and enhancing that data with predictive insights and delivering the customer data directly to the users in context with what they're doing, rather than having to switch between different applications. So, you know, we can operate within their tools of choice and provide them the key insight they need. I mean, a great example of no touch is Sugar Hint, and hopefully, you know, a number of customers on the call are availing themselves of Sugar Hint. But, you know, in the past, if you think about it, if you're preparing for, say, a new prospect meeting or a new customer meeting, you'd spend hours researching the company. And I'm not talking about before the internet. Even since the internet, you're still spending hours of time, which is time that you could be spending doing something far more productive, doing all this research. Whereas Hint reduces the customer research time and improves the quality of that data by pulling data from over 70 different data sources, by automatically enriching the account and contact and lead data that you have within your systems, and doing things like proactively alerting you to important customer news and changes. So, I mean, everything's available online these days, but, you know, one of the examples I use is, you know, if I was a salesperson and I got a notification from the system saying, Craig, do you realize your second biggest customer has just had a change of CEO, and that CEO has never dealt with you before, they've only ever dealt with your competitors? I want to know that. I want to be able to wrap my arms around the customer. And you could obviously do that by spending hours of your day every day in something like LinkedIn, but that's not productive. What the tool should be doing is proactively surfacing this information, which is really important information, to the user, so that they don't actually have to go hunting and pecking around the system to find it. So we're constantly looking for more opportunities to automate these kind of tasks, so that end users can spend less time on entering and finding and interpreting information, and more time on the valuable stuff, which is actually engaging with customers. So the concept that we use internally, it's data entry as a last resort.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of people get a lot of value out of Hint, and clearly Sugar's differentiating itself with this no-touch information management and tools like Hint. One of the other ways that Sugar differentiates itself from other CRMs is by identifying itself as a customer experience platform. When you describe yourself as that, can you talk a little bit about what that means?
Well, look, so broadly, customer experience is the strategy that a company uses to deliver an exceptional experience across every stage of the customer lifecycle. So, you know, a proper, well thought through CX strategy encompasses obviously people, and encompasses processes. Sorry, excuse me. And it also encompasses technology. And for the technology part, that is CRM. So CRM is the technology piece of that equation, and the set of software tools that integrate every customer-facing function across an organization, ideally into one seamless set of interactions that delight customers and turn them into loyal advocates. Or the term that we use internally is customers for life. We want our customers to be building customers for life. And if you look at the competitive pressure in you know, across different markets, the pressure's never been greater for B2B companies, particularly B2B companies, to consistently deliver an exceptional and highly relevant experience throughout the customer journey. So, you know, with the addition of Sugar Market, which was formerly Sales Fusion, we believe we're leading the next generation of customer experience innovators, you know, by empowering companies to obviously strengthen existing customer relations, create new ones, you know, by delivering actionable insights and intelligent automation, and better understand the customer at every stage of the sales, marketing, and service journey. And if we can do that for our customers, you know, then I consider us a success.
Yeah, and so clearly from a differentiating standpoint, we've talked about no-touch information management, we've talked about customer experience, but you know, with over 200 CRM solutions on the market, what do you think of as Sugar's key market differentiator?
Look, I could probably talk for hours on this, but I think the key thing in my mind is this time-aware component of the platform. And I actually printed out a quote here. So, you know, we've been walking through with the analysts and presenting this time-aware differentiation, and the feedback we're getting from analysts, it is really compelling, and I know it's really compelling. But Brent Leary of Martech, he and I'll read the quote if that's okay. It says, it took SugaCRM's connection event in late September to introduce a concept and product called Sugar Discover that both makes a bunch of sense and makes you wonder why I hadn't heard any other companies talking about it and incorporating it into their platform. Sugar not only is repositioning themselves as a CX platform, but adding a time coefficient layer to that platform to allow their customers to rewind history, play history forward, and analyze that to find anomalies and patterns using machine learning techniques. So this was identified by Brent as, after we went to all of the competitors, you know, launch events and conferences, as the #1 trend. And I know personally, you know, as a user of a multitude of CRM systems over the years, this is their collective Achilles heel. And we're driving the future of the industry, in my mind, is the only vendor providing customers a complete view of their data, but both historical and also forward-looking, with this time-aware customer experience platform. And the time-aware foundation, it's one of a kind. There's no one else that's doing this. And as Brent says, he can't understand why no one's thought of this before. So we've spent the last few years doing a lot of the hard work at the plumbing level to to build this unique component, but it's recording, storing, and making available all of the data needed to intelligently forecast the future for businesses of all sizes. And it's powered by this SugaDiscover, which is our new predictive insights platform. And SugaDiscover helps customers to find answers to complex questions. And when I was a customer of CRM, which I have been over many, many years, the questions that I was asking and I couldn't get answers to, SugaDiscover is tuned to provide those answers based on this time-aware component. It helps you locate anomalies, to study patterns, to decipher data and compare recent performance to any select period in the past. So there's a whole lot of different use cases around this, things like how long are my leads spending in different stages of my pipeline and where are they falling out? You can't do that analysis unless you understand the concept or the coefficient of time. So for me, I think that's a clear differentiator, not just in our mind, but also being called out by the analysts and market researchers. So it's all about providing answers to questions that we haven't been able to get answers to previously, but even more so providing answers to questions that we haven't asked, but maybe we should have asked, because there are things happening within our business from a data perspective that we haven't twigged yet to, but that are really, really important and that we should understand and start investigating.
Well, so in answering that question, you touched on SugaDiscover quite a bit and some of the cool things you can get out of it and that our customers can get out of it for sure. Is there anything else you want to touch on related to SugaDiscover and some of the kinds of things it'll do for Sugar users?
Yeah, look, probably many of the customers on the call have been involved in different BI projects over different businesses. This is really a next-gen product in so many ways. We're super excited about it. It's truly a different offering from what's been available in the market. It's a really radical new approach to customer analytics that makes it incredibly fast and really easy to extract insight from the Sugar's customer data. It keeps you on top of your business by automatically tracking and analyzing a really extensive set of meaningful, actionable metrics, and enables you, as I said before, to rewind history and understand trends and so on. But one of the key differences from other analytical tools is that it tells you what's important right now, and automatically alerts you when it detects changes in key patterns and key metrics that are trending significantly above or below target, or that break significantly from historical patterns, because they're things that the human mind can't pick up just by looking at a screen. Whereas, once you apply AI and machine learning techniques, they can identify these trends very easily. And what Discover does is makes these actionable with what we call Discover Insights. So they're surfacing the related facts and patterns in the data that could be contributing to the change. So not only identifying that there is something you need to look at, but identifying the areas that are probably correlated to why this is happening, which enables you to quickly identify root causes and take appropriate action. And the other aspect that I think makes Discover unique, and for anyone who's been involved in a BI project, and I've been involved in many over the years, it provides real value on day one. So there's no need to build and maintain data lakes, analytical databases, no need to go and learn SQL, no need to run ETL tools, which is extract, transform, load tools that most BI projects rely upon. No need to learn complex, very specific BI tools. No need to hire expensive teams of technical resources. It comes pre-integrated with Sugar. It's essentially plug and play, out of the box content, and any person with Sugar user skills can be exploring revenue data and discovering those actionable insights like day one. So not only is it incredibly powerful, it's also very, very easy to get up and running.
So that begs the question, how can the people on the call and our customers try it out?
So we're offering a pilot program, and we'd love your customers to be signing up. So it basically gives you 2 weeks access to SugaDiscover, and we work with you on your top sort of 3 to 5 use cases with all of the standard metrics and reports. At the moment, it's very SFA oriented, and in the very near future, it'll be market and serve as well. But on the SFA side, obviously providing access to funnel, conversion, pipeline velocity, win rate, all of those sorts of things you would expect to be able to drill into from an SFA perspective.
Cool. So, Jesse's a good point of contact for you folks on the call that want more info on this. You can reach out to him at the end of the webinar. So just know that. Let's shift gears a little bit from Sugar Discover and talk a little bit about Sugar Market. How is Sugar Market different from other marketing automation platforms that might integrate with Sugar?
Yeah, and look, I mean, we were sort of in the position of being a customer when we went and we had to make a decision about we knew we needed to fill this gap in terms of marketing automation. We had good integration with a few of the different providers in the market, but we knew that our customers wanted everything from Sugar as opposed to having to go and maintain different vendor relationships. So last year as a priority, we went and did a market survey. We looked at everyone in the marketplace with a view to picking, what is the best product that we can make available for our customers. And we came to the pretty clear conclusion that Sales Fusion at the time would be the best product for our customers. And there's a whole raft of reasons that customers would go through in their own selection, but full end-to-end, really world-class capabilities with all the features and functionality included. So there weren't a whole lot of complexity around, oh well, that's the enterprise edition and that you don't get, and all of that sort of stuff where it just makes the journey from a customer so much more difficult. Had an incredibly intuitive user interface, and we've just done we're reworking an element of the Nurture Builder interface at the moment, but across the board, super intuitive, particularly for the people that do the work. So the builders of the emails and forms and landing pages. So, we saw that accelerated user adoption and team effectiveness. And when we went through our own, once we, made the decision to buy Sales Fusion, we did a rip and replace on Marketo in 3 weeks. And I was expecting lots of pushback and, change management issues from the team. And we had none. I mean, they love the tool. Obviously, native integration with Sugar, both on-premise and cloud, which was important. Real-time syncing, supports things like unlimited custom fields, which a lot of our customers use Sugar to track and capture custom fields, which are really important for their business. So the fact that the marketing automation also supported unlimited custom fields, allowing for things like advanced segmentation, scoring functionality, and obviously the personalization piece. It was architected to support from the full gamut of our customers, right from SMB right up to sort of the enterprise level of the marketplace, with really auto scaling, high performant search, etc. It was the only solution on the market that provided an advanced embedded reporting module. So no additional fee, had all of the capability in terms of advanced analytics built into the application. And one of the other things we really loved was the Sales Fusion team had built this optional managed services process, which, for a very small customer that doesn't have a big marketing team, could get them up and running really, really quickly. And even for big customers that wanted to outsource some of the more of the heavy lifting from a marketing automation perspective, we had that team in place to do all of that. And that has, really helps mitigate project risk and gets our customers up and running as quickly as possible. So all of that, plus unlimited support for customer needs via phone and email. And we thought it was the best fit for not just for us, but also for our customers.
Cool. And I think one of the things that has happened with all these acquisitions and all these add-ons is that there's a lot of stuff in Sugar's portfolio now. And I think, we in a lot more than there ever has been, which is great. But with all of the new stuff and the new product naming, I think it would be great if you could clarify some stuff about what's included in some things and compared to some old offerings. So for example, Sugar Enterprise has been the name historically that most customers have implemented, but now there's Sugar Sell and there's Sugar Serve. Can you talk a little bit about Sugar Sell and Serve versus Sugar Enterprise?
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, the logic was we moved to this 3-pillar model. in the cloud, the aim was to provide choice and flexibility for customers. So as we continue innovating at an unprecedented and increasingly accelerating pace, we want to provide our customers the option of purchasing only what they need, and purchasing it only when they need it. So the aim of the changes was all about providing, value commensurate with investment, rather than just force feeding everything to a customer who may not actually be getting value from that. So we made the split of SugaCell and SugaServe, and I won't go through all the details, but I have got a list here in terms of the sort of capabilities that are included in Cell. It's everything you would expect from the SFA application, obviously accounts and lead management and contacts and forecasts, etc. If you compare it to Sugar Enterprise, the only things that are not included are case management, some legacy functionality such as projects, Sugar Workflow, and some outdated SOAP and REST APIs that we're going to be retiring anyway. But that's looking at things that aren't included. The other way to look at it is we're now delivering cloud-only functionality, like our new renewals console, which anyone who has subscription-based customers will find that incredibly valuable. That's very, very unique. None of our competitors do that. That's in SugaCell, but won't be in Sugar Enterprise. And if we then look at SugaServe, once again, all of the service components you would expect from a CRM solution, but not the SFA component. So elements that are stripped out of things like lead management, campaigns, opportunities, forecasts, quotas, etc., as well as the legacy functionality like projects, Sugar Workflow, and the outdated SOAP and REST APIs. So they're the things you're not going to get, but once again, we're delivering new functionality in the cloud, which isn't available in Sugar Enterprise, like the new service console in SugaServe, which is, in my mind, the best service console, most intuitive service console I've ever seen. So you're going to see more and more functionality being added into the cloud by virtue of the partnership with AWS, and that's going to be happening faster than what's happening in Sugar Enterprise.
And with these new changes, like who's the target market for these?
Look, it hasn't changed. I know, talking to some customers, there was fear that we were abandoning parts of the market, but to be completely transparent, we're absolutely committed to the SMB end of the market, and right up to enterprise businesses. I mean, the most valuable company in the world runs Sugar, and some very, very large enterprises run Sugar. But if you look at the majority of our customers by pure number, by a large measure, it's small to medium businesses. If you look at where the majority of our revenue comes from, that's more mid-market and upper mid-market. So, we have made some changes, and the changes were really driven in terms of splitting out the products, etc. Were driven by two key things. One was the whole concept of customer choice, which I've spoken to, but the majority of our customers don't use everything that's in Sugar Enterprise. So providing, both packaged together compromised our ability to really craft well-fitting solutions with the capabilities customers actually required. And for our existing customers that want to use, both sales automation and customer service, they can either stay on their current product or they can migrate to the combo of Sell and Serve. So, and we're doing that with very, very favorable terms. In most cases, in fact, nearly all cases, no increase to the current licensing cost. But the other key differentiation point is around this AWS piece. Because we can innovate far faster in the cloud, if we want to continue delivering compelling innovation faster than our competitors, we had to make that break. So, there are some of the components which are cloud only, which is obviously market, Sell and Serve. And we can now leverage cloud-based technologies and innovations that were previously closed off to Sugar, and therefore couldn't benefit our customers. We can do that now, which means the pace of innovation in the cloud will outpace our innovation on premise. It's just a fact of life. But that's driven by the pace of innovation we're relying upon from AWS, which is obviously cloud only. And the fact is that nearly all of the acquisitions that we're looking at the moment, David, are all cloud only as well. I mean, it's the way people are going. So where possible, anything that we buy which is cloud only, we will make available to our on-premise customers wherever we possibly can, like we have with Sugar Market. But I just want to make it really clear, Sugar is absolutely committed to our on-premise solutions as well. These products will still receive regular enhancements, and we will not be forcing any customers to migrate.
You did mention, though, you touched on it briefly, if people do move from enterprise to sell and serve combined, what are you thinking that is the price implication of that?
So in terms of price implication, we're enabling our enterprise customers to convert existing enterprise licenses to either sell or serve at no additional license cost. So, and it's really quite simple. It's basically just converting the license string, and then you've got available new functionality that you didn't have previously. So with Pro customers, it's slightly different. And so Pro customers, whenever they've wanted to upgrade to enterprise, the price has been $25 per user per month above what they were paying. And we've just maintained that. So nothing's changed here. So you can upgrade from Pro to enterprise or Pro to sell or serve at exactly the same price. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible. I suppose the only complexity is where customers are using both sell and serve. We'll work with them to figure out which of their end users are using which of the functionality, and we'll figure out a way to do a one-to-one match. And for enterprise customers, once again, that'll be at no cost. So they can migrate to sell and serve or the sell and serve combo for no additional cost. For the Pro customers, it's going to be that additional $25 to migrate to enterprise or sell or serve, or $50 if they want to do the combo sell and serve licenses. So hopefully that makes sense. It should be, we try to make it as simple as possible, but I want to reinforce something that I've said multiple times on different customer calls, etc. is enterprise and Pro aren't going away. We're going to maintain those products in perpetuity. We're going to continue to enhance the products. We're not going to force people to move from Pro to enterprise or Pro to sell serve. We're still selling those products. The big difference is that they're only available for new customers as on-premise solutions going forward. So that's the big difference.
Cool. Well, thanks for clarifying all that. Simple is good. So we're a big fan of simple.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So shift gears a little bit and drill down a little more into the SugaServe product, which a lot of people on the call may not know a lot about. What would you say makes SugaServe different from other platforms, ticketing platforms in the marketplace, and how does it help us, support our customers?
Yeah, look, obviously we use and have used the service components of the enterprise product for many years to support our own customers, and we get a very good rating from an NPS perspective in terms of that support. So, look, I think it's way more than just a ticketing solution. It features, in my mind, a unique and groundbreaking service console, which I'd encourage your customers to have a look at if they've got service needs. It provides essentially like a cockpit experience for service agents, putting everything they need, all of the tools, next best action guidance based on things like SLAs, account and contact information, account history, all of the case details right at the agent's fingertips, with no searching or navigation or switching between different areas of the application required. In my mind, it's the best user console and most intuitive that I've seen across the industry. So with agents having everything they need to resolve cases on a single screen without having to go hunting and pecking around the system, it should deliver a huge productivity booster. And we've also delivered a lot of new functionality and quite advanced capabilities around SLA management, both in a single site context, but also across global work centers. So taking into account different working days and public holidays and everything else. Full-blown workflow automation, self-service portal, and extensive out-of-the-box reporting. So I would encourage any of your customers, if they have customer service requirements, have a good look at SugaServe. It's a fantastic product, and once again, the pace at which we're innovating that is, is continuing to accelerate.
Cool. While we're drilling down on different sugar offerings, we've talked about Sugar Sell and Sugar Serve and Sugar Discover and Sugar Market. What about Sugar Connect? Tell us a bit about that and what it does and why it's cool.
Yeah, look, Sugar Connect came from the acquisition of CollabSpot, which was the first acquisition we did last year. It now goes well beyond basic email calendar integration. And, we know that that's bundled in for some other CRM vendors. And we still have the OPI and third-party offerings available for customers that really just require that simple level of integration. Connect offers full access to all CRM objects, including custom objects, regardless of the product being enterprise, pro, self-serve, all from within the email client. So, that's a very significant difference because it means that users don't even have to leave their email client to access anything within Sugar. And we think that's a really powerful productivity driver. In addition, we've added an appointment scheduling capability. And in this day and age where trying to get people on the phone is almost impossible, this is really, really cool stuff. I mean, it allows sales and service reps to easily set up meetings and have customers collaborate with them in terms of the availability and when we can meet, etc., with minimal time, effort, and no emails going backwards and forwards. So that's a really powerful capability in Connect now. And if you look at the landscape, there are entire companies in the CRM add-on ecosystem where their entire business is just that scheduling capability alone. So Connect, it's included as a core feature for any of our customers. And finally, I suppose our plan for Connect going forward, we want to continue expanding capabilities way beyond email and calendar integration. So some examples I got from the product team, we're planning to add relationship analytics and visualizations, as well as the ability to run micro email campaigns directly from Outlook or G Suite, similar to the sort of functionality offered by companies like Outreach and SalesLoft, if the customers have been exposed to those. And both of these features will be unique to Connect and well beyond the capabilities of typical, bundled email calendar integration. So, we think it's well beyond what the base level is in the market, and we're continuing to look at ways we can continue to innovate there.
Cool. Well, that's great stuff. So we've covered a lot of the products, the infrastructure, some of the ways Sugar differentiates itself. This has been, really helpful stuff. But Craig, sort of to wrap things up, the future of Sugar. Talk a little bit about the future and what really gets you excited.
As you can probably tell, I get excited by things, lots of things, and I'm 1 year into Sugar, and I'm super excited about the journey so far. I'm excited about our customers, our partners, our team, our products. Look, I'm excited about the acquisitions on top of the accelerating pace of product innovation. We're on a solid growth path, and we're looking to continue to evolve the business for the benefit of our customers, and that's why we're here. So what should the customers expect to see? I think in 2020, probably a lot more acquisition activity this year. What you won't see, and I've seen this in products in a variety of different areas, is we won't go acquiring disparate assets just to check a box on an RFP. So, we don't want to create, call it a Frankensteinian, I know that's not a word, but a Frankensteinian user experience with a multitude of technologies which just don't play well together. Everything we acquire has to make sense from a technology perspective, and has to enable us to deliver more value to our customers, and more value without adding a huge burden to them from an administration or financial or integration perspective. So we want it to be easy, plug and play for our customers, as opposed to adding a huge burden on them. So, in my mind, the vision's pretty clear. We're going to continue to drive the future of customer experience with powerful products and continue innovating. And we are looking to continue anticipating and fulfilling the needs of customers, ideally before they realize they have them. So that's what we think our responsibility as a vendor is to do.
That's great stuff, Craig. Appreciate the vision. We're all at Faye, we're all really excited about the future of sugar as well, and the direction sugar's going is really cool. And all the add-on products are making sugar more of a destination product, and really, then the pace of innovation is really exciting to see. So thanks for that. And for the time today, Jesse, I want to kick it back over to you. Any additional questions, or where are we at?
Yeah, so we have just a couple of questions that came in. First one is around Sugar Discover, wondering if there are any plans of making Sugar Discover part of Sugar's core offering, as opposed to an add-on.
Yeah, no, I know, and it's a challenge, right? The philosophy of have everything all in and then have to charge a price that's commensurate with that, or giving our customers the benefit of choice. And so, it's more of an a la carte menu that you can choose from, is something that, we're always grappling with, and across all of the products, but, be it Connect and Discover and so on. We don't see that changing in the short term. We've got a lot of money invested in the development of Discover. It's a groundbreaking tool. It's very, very revolutionary, and I know this as a many-time user of competing products. The things that I couldn't get answers to that I now can because of Sugar Discover. It isn't just a reporting tool, and it isn't just a standard BI tool. It's a very, very powerful, AI machine learning engine, which I think can transform the lives of our customers. So we're going to continue to have that as an optional extra on the price list. As much as I'd love to put everything in into one bundle, we also have to be able to fund the continuing and accelerating innovation that we're putting into that product.
Awesome, thanks. And then just one more question. We understand that the company's annual sales kickoff is coming up in 3 weeks, and we were wondering if you might be able to tease any previews or exciting new roadmap items of what to expect.
Oh, I could probably get in trouble by doing that before telling my own people. But there's a product we're going to be coming out with in the very near term, and it's called Sugar Integrate. And I'm not I probably talking out of school, talking about it too much here, but essentially, one of the areas of feedback we've had from our customers, and I know Faye have done a wonderful job of creating integrations with a variety of different products, but in order to massively broaden our ecosystem, we've got a new product that's coming out, which is essentially an integration engine and has pre-built integrations with over 200 different applications. And so for our customers, not only from an ease of doing integration up front, but as they continue to go through upgrades, not having to worry about that, the integration breaking, is something that is a very exciting announcement coming up in the next couple of months. And it's also going to enable us to really quickly broaden the ecosystem of potential partners that we can work with, and that our customers can work with, without having the extra burden and impost of having to go and write integration. So I'll probably leave it at that. Anything else, and I will get myself in trouble with my product marketing team.
Fair enough. Well, we appreciate you taking a stab at that one, and I'd like to formally thank everybody for attending today, and encourage you to shoot me any additional questions that might come up as you are thinking later on throughout the day or the rest of the week. I'd also like to thank you, Craig, for joining us, taking the time to spend time with our customers, and David, thank you as well for asking such great questions.
Look, thanks, Jesse, and thanks, David. And the favorite part of my job is talking to customers, ideally in person, but thanks for the opportunity to spend some time with so many of your wonderful customers.
All right. Well, thanks to you, Craig, and thanks, Jesse, for making it all happen.
You got it. Everyone have a great rest of your week. and we'll see you on an upcoming webinar soon.
Thanks all.